Hello guys, my name is Bertrand Mwonga, and I want to welcome you to this new series. So the goal of this series is to try to solve as many challenges as we can. And one of the websites that I picked is LeetCode, and as you can see, we are going to try to do the 30 days of JavaScript. And I think this is the best, one of the best way to practice or to improve your skills in coding, so that you can test yourself and see how much you know and how much you can learn from the exercise or the practice that you are doing. So we will start from scratch. As you can see here, it says 30 days, and we pretty much have about 35 questions. And some of them has medium level, and some of them is easy. I don't see anything that says hard here. And hopefully, by the time we reach the medium, we will, it, we will improve and find it a little bit easier to solve. So everything is already set up. So you can also go to leetcode.com and select the 30 days of JavaScript if you want to code along and maybe mess around, get your hand dirty, and probably you'll learn something new that is not covered here in this video, and probably also you will do a much better job than me. So yeah, let's go and have fun. All right, so we will select the first one here that says hello world. So usually what I like to do is, try to remove all the code that they have so far so that I can pseudocode first and, kind of brainstorm to have an idea on how. Now the question here is write a function, create hello world, and the function that we are going to write will be named create hello world. And that function should return a new function that always return hello world. All right. So the first thing to do is create a function that is named hello world, and inside the create hello world function. So let's say, yeah, inside the create function, or we can say, yeah, the hello world function should return. So inside the create hello world function, we are going to have another function. We need to return a function here. Inside that, we need to return a function which, we need to return a function that always, I think it's better English, that always return hello world. Right? So I'm not really focusing on the spelling here or grammatical error, but based on the instruction here, we have an idea. Now they gave us some example. So the example one is here. So we have the input and the outcome is hello world. Now the explanation is we are going to create a variable f. Like let's say if we create a variable f and we assign it the create hello world function. Because this function will return a function, pretty much this variable will become a function. Now, if we invoke this variable as the invoke here, the outcome has to be hello world. This is scenario number one. Scenario number two says the input is this argument, an array of arguments, and the output should always be hello world. Now, here they explain again. We create a variable called f, and we assign that variable a value. I mean, we assign create hello world to this variable. But because this function returns a function, that means this variable right here becomes a function. Now, if we pass in variable inside that function, because it has to take some variable as well based on the instruction or the example, we should always get hello world. So let's go ahead and write some code now. So the first thing here is to create a function named create hello world. So we will go ahead and const, I'm gonna call it create hello world as requested, right? And here I'm gonna use arrow function. Hopefully advanced that it can allow us to do that. Now here I created a function called create hello world. Now this function has to return a function, right? So return a function, and based on example, so return a function based on the example 2. The function that is being returned need to have the ability to take some arguments. So we are going to do this and say, yeah, we can take some arguments. And now, no matter the argument that we take in from that function that is being returned from create hello world, this function always has to return hello world as a string. Hello world as a string. So pretty much that's the function right here. So we have the first part where we create the function, we name it create hello world, and inside that function we are returning another function that can take some arguments, but this function inside will always return hello world. Okay, now let's try to run it and see if we got it right. So we create a constant or a variable called whatever we want to call it. We can call it f or we can call it z, it doesn't matter. Now this function will be assigned create hello world. So what we are going to do is invoke right away the create hello world here, so that this value inside will be assigned to this new function, right? So I can just come here, copy and paste and invoke it. Now when we invoke it, we are executing the function, and this function will return the function inside. Okay, so after that, we know now that this one becomes a function because this function is returning a function. And when we invoke our z function, we should get hello world prints on the terminal or the console. Now let's go ahead and try it. Finger crossed. We run it, and voila. So case 1 succeed. We have input of 0 argument, and the output is hello world, and the expected was hello world as well. Now when we go to case number 2, what it's saying is if we pass some argument to this function right here, we should expect to get hello world as a function, and this is the output, and that's the value that was expected. So let's go ahead and submit and see if it's still okay. And voila, everything, the code has been accepted. So here we completed the first challenge for the 30 days of JavaScript. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on another episode. You have a wonderful day, and please feel free to subscribe and click the like button. All right, bye bye for now.